All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another episode of Spotlight Athlete of the Week. We have another alumni edition today. I'm joined with Mitch Mierke. Mitch was a 2018 Milford graduate. He's now attending Thomas More, and he's playing baseball there. He was a 2-year varsity starter for Milford. He played third base and pitched. He was one of the most reliable starters during his time for the Eagles, but also played a lot of third base. Very good offensive player defensively, and had really good pitching numbers for the Eagles during his tenure. He was one of the quiet leaders, became an awesome team leader as his senior year. So we're joined none other today than Mr. Mitchell Mierke. Mitch, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I'm hanging in there. Just enjoying talking to some of our alumni here, like yourself. Just had a nice interview with Grant and Hunter Frank, who are seniors. So they said hello and said good things about you.
Appreciate it.
We're going to jump right into this, ask you some questions here. Obviously, you graduated 2 years ago. You were in the program. Talk about your experience at Milford and what's kind of your fondest memory from the program.
Milford is a great school. It really offered me a great education, and it was an honor to play for the Hall of Fame coach Kilgore. And I bonded very well with those guys, especially senior year, and I played with some very talented players. And I was lucky to play for a top-notch team like Milford, and it was top-notch because of the coaches, and they have a history of winning, and all they do is win. So
that's awesome. Now, what was your biggest? Who was your biggest rival? I probably know the answer, but what was the biggest rival or biggest game, whether it's league, non-league? Who did you get most excited to play, I guess?
So senior year, probably West Claremont, because all those guys transferred out, and it was just fun to play them because it was always intense. So I'd say my fondest memory would be senior year. We beat Kings for the ECC title, and I ended up getting the win, and I had 3 hits, and it was home game, so it was fun. It's a good memory.
Pretty raucous crowd there, I'm sure, that day. Everyone was all pumped up for that.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's seems like it was just yesterday, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So talk about your transition to college. Obviously, you've been at Thomas More your second year there, but talk about the difference between high school and college and kind of what was your transition like going to Thomas More?
So I felt like Milford prepared me pretty well for the educational side, but traveling took me a while to get used to, like for baseball, and there's not a lot of downtime between practices, studying, classes, and working out, and the competition is much bigger and stronger. But I feel like Milford's coaching staff expected a lot from me, especially Coach Fritz, and that prepared me for college ball and education. So
what's the off-season regiment workout program like? I mean, how does that compare to high school?
So during the winter, we work out like 3 times a week, and we'll do individual stuff like if you're an infielder, ground balls, pitching drills, stuff like that. So then we do fall ball, which is every day during the fall. So that's a lot. It'll go from like 1 to like 5 or 6 every day. So
wow.
Then we start getting into practices after Christmas break, and that's every day until we start. So
it's quite a time commitment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
like a full-time job there.
Yeah.
Very good. So obviously, in the last couple of weeks, we've kind of gone to shelter at home, shelter in place, and lockdown there, and quarantine. So talk about how that's impacted your college season. Where you're at now, when you found out, and kind of how that's affected your future at the collegiate level.
So we only played 18 games, and we played our first home series, and I had just started a game, and I remember the next day my coach texts in our group chat and says that we got cut off because of COVID-19 or whatever. It just took me by surprise. So it really changed my routine. So now I'm living home. I'm working 8 a.m., then working out and running, studying, sleeping, and doing it all over again. So
is it harder being at home doing all that, or at being at school and doing all that work?
I mean, I like being home. I'm a little homebody, so I don't mind it.
No, it's good.
Oh
Well,
man,
talk about, obviously a lot of us are kind of stuck indoors or not going very far. So if you were stuck inside quarantine with a celebrity, who would that be and why?
I'd say Tiger Woods because with all the downtime he could really help my golf game.
I bet you he'd tell you some interesting stories too about his adventure journey too.
Yeah.
So that's
Yep.
pretty good. I can use some advice too. So maybe you could share. I haven't played a lot of golf recently, but uh, talk about, what's the one biggest thing, like daily normal item you probably appreciate more now, kind of being stuck, at home more. What's one thing you're missing or you kind of took for granted before?
I say I'm missing my teammates the most because we spent every minute of the day together, pretty much traveled together, roomed together. So I miss them, miss hanging out with them and playing with them. So that's probably what I miss the most.
Have you guys do anything to stay in touch and engage? Whether it's video calls or gaming or all kinds of videos that people are
Yeah,
doing.
I play some PlayStation with some of them and try to keep in touch with the rest. So
Yeah, just not the same though, is it? Than being in
no,
person.
no, no.
You can't put a price on that. So, well, last question I really have for you is, obviously there's a lot of high school kids that kind of got that bomb dropped on them yesterday that their spring sports season and their senior year of high school is not coming back. So obviously, I think a lot of them saw it coming, but still, it was a tough pill to swallow. So, what advice, encouragement, you being in their shoes not too long ago, what advice or encouragement could you give them right now?
I really feel bad for seniors, especially Grant Whitaker and Hunter Frank. They're both good players and deserve a senior season. But I'd say to use this time to benefit and make yourself better in any way possible, whether it be on the field or in the classroom or just being a better person and spend time with family overall. So that's what I'd say to them.
Yeah, that's great advice. We appreciate that. Well, we appreciate you joining us here and spending some time. And it was nice to talk to you and meet you in person. We'll be following you. Obviously, hopefully, get you back to school and we get back to our normal routines. We'll be following you as you go back to Thomas More. So, hope to stay in touch and maybe we'll see you down at the golf course at Terrace Park soon, too. So,
Yep. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
no problem. Thanks for joining us. Tell the family we said hello.
Will do.
Take care, Mitch.
See ya.
Bye bye.